Hey everyone, and welcome back to Transport Fever. This is the Great Western Railway. We're doing a whole lot of passenger services this time and last time, trying to extend our network to the far reaches of the map. This beautiful 440 is hauling about 5 carriages, not too full, 2 out of 72, and it is losing money, but hopefully as we expand the network it will get better and better. Between episodes I went along and just cleaned up the edges, did a little painting to get the wheat off the tracks, and went round and cleaned up some of the bridges, just made them not as stark or too angular. We're going to extend the network today, but I think what we should do is try to make this a little bit more profitable, because at the moment we're only relying on the catchment of the station. There's no bus lines or anything like that around towns. I mean, there is, as you can see here at the end of the line, a couple of people hanging around, but it isn't going to make a profit. So yeah, but it looks great. I absolutely love the carriages that we've got and the engine and everything. I love the modding ecosystem when it comes to the Great Western Railway. Since we're at the end of the line, let's do the buses down here first. I think we'll just have a simple bus route rather than like a big depot or anything. Coverage is pretty good, so we shouldn't have to put down too many of these things. So let's quickly just start doing that. Use these standard ones, and we'll go over here. I'm deliberately going to try to put it way out of town to kind of encourage some growth. And yeah, one out the end of the station. So where are we? We are in Helensdale, and we'll make a new line. New line from here. Did I get the right one? Yep. And we're going to go around the corner, up there, up there, up there, up there, up there. And so this is going to be a passenger there, Helensdale, and we'll use the standard green color. Missed it. Try that one there. The closest depot I think is up here somewhere. So I think I might actually add one here in the middle, and that depot here can service that way and service that way. And when we actually get some of these productions going, we can worry about that too. So let's use one of our nice mods. I think over here, yeah, this one, this depot here. It's a horse-drawn carriage depot, much more, what do you call it, rustic, much older. So let's put it out of town. It doesn't need to be too close to anything. Actually, right here is not bad. And it will get some stuff on the line. I think just one for now. And this is passenger in Helensdale. And then let's do the same thing up the line. Yeah, so what that will do is it will give us coverage if it's not clear. So each of these stations, if I click on the station, get the right thing, that's what I want. Yeah, each one of these things has a coverage. Actually, it has huge coverage. You can see it there. A huge radius, and so anybody within that radius will walk to here and take the bus if they want to get to the station, or if they just want to go see a friend's house or something. All right, so yeah, they were all a bit close, but that's fine. Let's do the same over here. A whole lot of buildings, stations there. So let's start with maybe over here. So particularly this one is a good example where people would come on the train and then go over to this farm to do work. That's very plausible. Let's go there and there. We'll put a road through here if we need coverage to houses in here. And that should kind of do it. Yeah, I overdid it on the previous one a little bit too much, but that's fine. New line. Actually, we didn't do one out the front. We need to put one right there. All right, new line. Add station. And done. And green again. And passenger in Katherine. Done. All right, so let's get another. I think just one will do. And that can go on passenger. Can't see it. Why can't we see it? I'm using the eye icon to filter things, so if it's not in view, you don't get to see it. All right, so those are done. So that person will drive across, come over here, and we'll get a little bit more coverage. Let's continue the line, so yes, currently it goes from here, and we want to go, if we can get the line up, it goes over here, and the goal is to get to Boddington. I'm going to put the station down first because it's going to definitely affect our approach. We'll definitely go around here. The plan is to go through the trees, around the bottom of this canyon, or we can call it edge, ridge. And then there may be some climbing. Might get very, very slow, but that's kind of scenic and cool. We may cross, is that actually really steep? Yeah, we actually might dip under the road there and have a little tunnel under there. And then we'll come in probably along this road edge on probably the left side, because a lot of these things like wheat and stuff are easily manipulated. And then we'll come in. And the question is, are we going to go to the left or the right, or is this going to be the end? So last episode, I think it was, or 2 episodes ago, we added a bus line over here, if I can find it. There it is. That gets us across to that train station over there. You can see the train coming in right now. And so I'm more than okay with having a bus line that goes from here to Boddington, and we'll keep this as a non-train town. I am inclined to swing this way so we can come over here and join into Swinton. There probably will be just an obvious road train line through there as well. But yeah, I am tempted to swing through here, and there is a fair few productions around here, so that also might be a good idea from a cargo point of view. So let's assume it's this way, and because of that, I think I'm going to place it right in here. Since wheat doesn't make sense and these trees are kind of clipping this, let's assume that we're going to stay on the inside. We'll duck under that road. Yeah, we'll probably duck under that road, come along here, and then come in here. So yeah, let's bulldoze this house and we'll come in here. Sorry. And how level is that? It's kind of level. So let's level this out. We'll go, where do I want to use as the level point? Let's do the entry as the level point. Let's make that a bit bigger. Yeah, we'll use this point here because the odds are we're going to have a railway crossing through there. Yeah, something like that. We'll get rid of this temporarily. I'm not going to get rid of the whole thing because that way I will remember that we have to do something about it. This road, probably, I'm sorry, but you're just not at the right grade. And yeah, gives ourselves a bit more space, and then we'll come out this way. Yeah, there's a limit of how much you can just accept the grade. Sometimes you just have to do a bit of terraforming. Yeah, I got this bulldoze through there. All right, and then I've got a feeling this corner's also gonna be sacrificed because there's a forest there. I'm tempted to, yeah, like curve it around as a road like this around the forest. In fact, I might do that now. And so something like that. Now, the map creator used a lot of roads to represent risky what should be hedges. So I'm quite happy to get rid of those. Stop trying to help and upgrade. Alright, so yeah, let's get the station down before the town folk decide that they know better. We use this lovely Great Western Railway. I'm actually going to give it a 160, I think, here. Or am I? No, let's do 120. And it's just going to be the same as before. So what we did before is we have the main line coming through, and then the passenger line just scoots across to one side. But basically, it's a 2-lane plus a parking track. And let's rotate that. And I think something like that will do us more than fine. Let's just clean up the stuff around. Yeah, now that I've got all these keystrokes bound for each, so risky for each thing. So one is straight roads. So all these, you can see the brackets on, where's the bracket? Well, they're all gone. Here, where is it? Where's an example? Yeah, see how it's got brackets 1? That's the keystroke. Brackets 2. So risky, I've got 1 for that, 2 for that, 3 is build. I don't know, that which is the menu, which has the shortcut. 4 is track. See 4, and then 5 is terrain, 6 is paint, and 7 is assets. So you don't have to use the numbers they give you. You can rebind all of your keystrokes, and it does mean that you can jump around and go, okay, I want to do a curve road 2. I want to start doing some track. I want to actually right now I want to do some straight road. So you can jump around a bit more, and so yeah, it definitely increases your velocity, and for me it actually isn't detracting from the game. I find that having to just do all the clicking to get what you want, it gets a bit, especially when you jump between multiple concepts, it gets a little bit boring. So yeah, that's how I'm doing that. If I hadn't already told you that. It's like, see all this undergrowth here, it doesn't need to be there, so it's 6, and then we can make it a bit bigger, get rid of all this. There shouldn't be corn inside trees. It just makes no sense. And then we'll clean that up. And then you get, because you're cleaning it up like this, it kind of gives you these new natural farm lines. And you can always put the texture back. And so yeah, let's configure this station. I get rid of the ends because I want to put these nice square ones on where people can't walk off. I don't know whether this was configured correctly for the last time I used it. Yeah, so there's pickets on one side. See how it's flat on this side and it's got the railings on this side. So we want that to be at the end. You want the railings to be out. See how it's all flat here, and the beams are on the back. So we want to follow that, and so we want to put that there, and then we need to use micro movements. Whoops, hit the mouse, don't hit the mouse. And just above the level, and just about, I can't get it right. Where is it? There we do. And then turn around, do the other end. Yeah, I did this between episodes. So rotate, actually, is it this way? Yeah, rotate around. And same thing. And good enough. And the last thing we need to do is give it some tracks for the bypass. Whoops, not these ones. We don't want we want the normal ones. Now this could just be normal rail. It doesn't actually have to be attached to the station. And let's follow what we did before and make a thing. The only thing I will do is, because Edwardson over here is going to want it, I am going to give this a depot. This is painted, so 6. Get rid of this. Yeah, so jumping around is much easier with keystrokes. You definitely have to be a keystroke type person though. And I could use this 3 for buildings. Let's go. Do we want to do something funky here? You know what? Yeah, let's do something funky. We haven't been using many mods when it comes to the road, so let's use one of these straight ones. There's a single lane and a double lane variant, and we want... I might have to delete a bit more. Get rid of that. We want the single lane one. It's all going to be buses and 1 loop. Yeah, 1 loop, and that will be the intercity. And you can see that line where my mouse is. That's where a walking track is. So I'm going to make that really, really close to where the front door is, where the steps are. Actually, is there a thing there? No, that's an underground one. Actually, where's the tendril? Oh, there is tendril. See the tendrils at the bottom here? So that will work. And I just want to make it so they can walk faster. So, because I have depth tools and I can go Alt-L, and so I can see where they're going to walk. So Alt-L, they'll come out here, and then they'll walk in here, and then I think they cross there, or they have to be underground. Is that an underground thing? Down, down. Actually, this is an underground thing. So, yeah, they actually have to go underground. So even though it's connected, they have to walk along here and go under. So let's use this one instead. And so let's do it again. And we'll make it so that these guys don't have to walk as far. Like that. And then let's turn those lines off. Yes, you can see it down there, underneath. Across, up and under. And perfect. And actually, it looks like we've got the line up pretty good too. So yeah, I'll need to turn DevTools on. If you look up in Google, what you want to look for is developer mode, and there's this going to be a thing called a Lua file. So Lua is a scripting language. There's a .lua file in the game directory. That's not the keystroke I want. I want that keystroke. And yeah, you just add this one line that says like developer equals true. And that's how that works. And can I squeeze this guy in here? That's terrible. Come on, let me do it. There we go. Alright, let's make a new line from here over to here. And these are called transit. And it's going to be Boddington to Edward. The problem with inventing names is they're hard to remember. Halt. Let's call this bus. Bus stop. Bus. Yeah. And let's give it a cool color. Let's go with there's red and blue. We haven't got red around here, so let's go to that color. And because we've got time, we've got money. Let's make another route. So which ones were the interstates? The blue and the red. So let's make the two interstates into town over here. And we'll go like that, and we'll give them a nice little place to sit. Let's go to this one. Do you want to go out the back? So the problem with out the back is it adds a loop. If we put it there, it doesn't. Can we fit it? Yeah, that works. So let's put that one there. Yeah, that's fine. And then I think it's possible this does get a little bit overcrowded, so I'm gonna bump this out by one. Yeah. And in the ground's a bit bad, so let's just smooth that out a bit. And right, let's get some stuff onto here. We'll go 2, and it's going to be the transit across to Boddington. Done. And yeah, let's get some inter-town stuff or within town stuff going. I don't know if that was the best route, but that's fine. Let's get some what do you call it? Sheds down. So we'll use the one out the front. Now, I didn't configure this to have a stop out the front. We want the one that goes to the right. And so there it is. I got it right. Correct. And so we'll go to this way. I'm going to quickly update these streets since we are going to have traffic on them. I think that's everything that's dirt or good enough as. And number 2 and 1. Actually, that makes that 2. All right, so let's get those sheds down. So there's one there in 3rd, and then we'll go over there, over here, and I think that will do. And then where are we as a town? Boddington. New line. And around town, standard green color, please. Passenger in Boddington. And we just need one bus on that, so one of those. Passenger Boddington. Alright, so that's that done. That's all prepared. I don't really like the color of that, so I'm actually going to give it an override color. I'm just going to use the normal grass. If you hold down shift, oh, that's not what I want. If you hold down shift, you can choose the color. I have to be a lot more surgical about it. And looks like I have destroyed the road as well. And much smaller. Oh wow, this is really hard to do. You got to make sure you don't. Actually, this one's. Okay, this asset is putting down that brown stuff. And then I'm going to put down probably some type of asphalt at the front. Make it look a bit more official. And yeah, it needs trees, it needs smoothing, it needs a whole lot of stuff. But there we go. Actually, I need to get rid of that little damage over here as well. But we'll worry about that later. Out of interest, is there any tendrils around here? Yeah, there is. There, right there. See that little thing there. If we use these street mod based ones, we can also force it by putting in a path. And what you'll see, if I can get it, I have to use the 6 meter one. You can see that tendril being gained. And there you go, so you can see that being joined. You can see people can walk through there now. Smooth, smooth, smooth. All right, done. Yeah, the developer mode with the right Alt and L is great. The other one good thing in the developer mode is the G, right Alt and G. It lets you get rid of the overlay. So for me, particularly who's trying to make cinematic shots, it's really good for that. All right. 20 minutes in and we've got only 100 yards of track. Let's get through this valley and connect it up. So yeah, let's forge ahead. Mental note, we're on the left. So let's start here. I think in general, are we going to be climbing? We are going to be climbing, so I think I'm okay. Let's see what happens if I do it. Oh, that's not going to happen. Nope, 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 nope. That was level, and that was a bad idea. Oh, actually, if we did go up, it gives me a chance to put a bridge in. Yeah, let's actually do that. Yeah, let's do that. So I'm going to go to here. That way we get a node to cut off for the bridge. And then I'm going to start a curve. Actually, we want stone bridge. And then I'm going to come down. Oh, interesting. Wow, this is not what I thought it was. Oh, wow, that actually goes where? You know what we have to do? We need to come all the way over here and hug the mountain. I did not see that in surveying. So I'm going to keep that there. And stone. And then keep here. I think I'm going to... Wow, I did not realize there's such a huge drop there. All right, well, let's stay straight. Well, this is going to be a very interesting mountain pass then. Yeah, I could have sworn we would have been down there, but nope. I'm not worried about the speed at all. I'm worried about the aesthetics. Oh, that's kind of cute. Okay. So we may have to do a tunnel. Wow, that's not what I expected. But I don't want to be going... The problem with the camera is it always looks down. You can't ever... It's really hard to get flat. But you have to be in a valley to see what flat is. And even that to me kind of looks like it's going up. But the tool says it's level. That's what that arrow means. You know what? I think that's pretty cool. I do want to be cognizant of where we're going. So let's try that. If we have to delete it, I'll put all the trees back that have been culled because of that. So yeah, we want to be, you know what? We kind of want to be level around here. So that curve, I'm going to actually increase the curve radius or decrease the radius. I'm not sure which way to say it. And they can slow down there. Am I on the left or the right? I am on the left. Yeah, let's bring this back one notch. If you like this type of reading the terrain and getting the angles right and particularly worrying about speed, Railways Online. Graphics are completely different. The rolling stock is fixed, of all these other things. But it's been around for a fair while now, like 3, 4, 5 years. And I would say that basically it got to version 1 only recently. It really didn't, it had lots of quirks and a lot of features missing. There was a lot of intrigue going on with the developers. It's a very small development team. And definitely struggled to find out who it was and what it needed to get done. But there was this big controversy about whether there should be tunnels or not in it. But anyway, you spend all your time looking at curve radiuses and speed of track and trying to map it into topology. Really good fun. So if you like the track laying side of Transport Fever, I highly, highly recommend it. Right, so I'm going to carve that out as a cut, and we may change that later. And then this is where I'm going to move into a tunnel. And we're coming in here. Are we too high? We are not. This is actually... That's come out quite well. So maybe I want to come out this side a bit more. Yeah, and come out. Yeah, let's go straight for it. You know what? The answer may be that's the wrong track. Let me put this track in. So we're aiming for the correct thing. And crows fly. Where are you? I'm okay with that. I think that looks pretty cool. Yeah, that's doable. We can fix the terrain. It's a little bit further away from the road than I hoped. Yeah, this is all fixable. I do like a train that has to dip into a mountain when there's a road going over it. I might pull that back a bit though. To do that, all we need to do is cut it out and say, please do a cut. We can get a bit closer. And how deep is that? It gets really deep. So that's, I think, cutting that back. Oh, we haven't really got that deep yet. I think we can get rid of one segment. Yeah, and maybe even one more. I don't want to have that many tunnels in this series, but yes, that's too far. So yeah, this is not tempt fate there, and that's a nice short tunnel. And then we'll terraform all that. And I'm pretty sure that radius is, yeah, it's all over the shot. So let's clean that up a bit. Now we know what the level is. Let's get this all happy. So you just do a gentle curve there, please. And we should get rid of that first. And we'll have to pull that tunnel back again. Actually, we can do it right now, I think. There we go. Yeah. And then I think this is just one of those times where super strength, go back. We're just going to role play that that's the deal. And then smooth that. And you know what? I'm okay with that. It's a completely different look. We've got a lot more craggy stuff elsewhere. And I'm okay with the way that that has a more broader edge. I like the idea of that little shelf there. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, don't play with it. Don't play with it, because I think that came out the way you wanted. And we'll just push this back. Kind of match that shelf over there. We may have the opportunity to do a big water feature through here. We can make this more rivery like we have elsewhere. I'm actually always looking for opportunities to do stuff like that. Right, and then this wall's too close. So you can go back a bit and stop being so uniform, please. And then you can come out. And yeah, this needs a whole lot more love. I think we have a bit of a curve that we don't want there. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's good. It winds through, and I think that looks fantastic. And you know what? I think I'm going to... I didn't deliberately choose the trestle then, but I think for that situation, it looks fantastic. Like, it's got the justification because the wood's there. And before we know it, I think we have an extenuation for our line. And I think it looks great. So let's sneak across there. Sneak across there. Put a signal there. And then on the way in, I think it's all done. Yeah, it's all done that way. And then on the way out, you don't really need a signal there. And you can wait at the road. One thing I did want to do, I was thinking about this between episodes, is I forgot to go around and change all of the barriers. Because, yeah, this is, some of these are pretty major. I mean, I did turn a lot of them into bridges, so that's not a problem. But there is a couple hanging around that, you know, you shouldn't have a thing this major without barriers on it. That one's okay. That's more domestic with a bridge. Yeah, it's only that one. And so yeah, this is. Oh, we can. This is more of a country lane, but that's even tempting to get rid of that one. All right, let's extend the line, and yeah, we'll actually tell this guy to do a U-turn so we can see it happen. Manage the line. When you get to Allendale, please go. Can I reach it from here? I can. And did I choose... I think I chose the wrong thing then. Did I choose it? Nope, I just got the wrong track. So, we haven't finished it. Let's get rid of all this stuff. Get rid of that. And I'm happy with this. There's definitely, we've gone through a lot of fields, but I think it's quite plausible to get that fixed. I think we can make them look like they haven't been destroyed. And you can go away. Signal. And I keep on forgetting which way we go. We go... I couldn't remember. So we go, yeah, forward on the left. I'm in the US, so my brain, even though the Australian accent, I'm definitely in my brain, I think American. And the very last thing I do around here is, because it's kind of obvious, let's just get rid of that, get rid of that. So this will be forest on the left. And everything else is, I think, detailing focus. So I think we can ignore that for now. And let's go for a ride. Let's go for a ride. So that line, I assume now, is happy. Everything's good. We have no alternate platforms available. Where's the train? Hey, buddy. Turn around. I want to go for a ride. Let's jump on board. We'll speed up time. We'll see how egregious some of our areas are. Like, that was pretty bad. That needs to be worked on. And let's go down the line. We have put those buses in. Oh, that's steep. Yeah, there's a couple of areas where I think we're going to have to give it a bit of love. This area was very undulating. Way more than I thought. I kind of thought, we call it the lowlands. I thought it was very flat and it's consistent, but it's not. Yeah, I think we've carved it into the ground not too bad. I think it's doable. Like, it's plausible. 43 people on board. All right, this is the Maiden run. Let's slow it down and we'll zoom out a bit so we can see some of the carriage. And let's see what this pass into the mountains looks like and what type of views we get. I think we want to be on maybe the left side. Yes. I love a new line. Thanks so much for watching. This has been a little bit of a long episode, about 35-40 minutes. So if you're still here, thanks for watching. Hopefully you're enjoying the series. Got a lot more train work to do, a lot more tracks. We've only got, I think we've got about at least 10 more cities that aren't on the lines yet. And then there's a whole lot of productions that have just buses or trucks and stuff on them right now. And we also haven't put time forward. So there's a lot more rolling stock that we can look into. Nice valley view. I like how these little hills happen next to the track. My goal is to not get rid of them. That's what gives it some character. Nice long trestle. I'm pretty sure there's not wooden trestles on the Great Western Railway. I'm pretty sure there's only stone ones. But you know what? How good does that look anyway? That looks cool. And around here, let's try to get back onto the train. Using a lot of WSD action here. Yeah, we'll fill this up with rocks and trees and bushes and undergrowth, and it will look fantastic. I wonder how many people are coming across on that bus route from that other town. I mean, in theory, people could now choose to come this way if they were trying to go to that remote town rather than going towards the east and then south. They can go south then east and use the bus to cut across. So yeah, there were a couple more nodes in the graph, in the transportation graph. I have a mod installed that changes the wildlife. You can see that bird up there. There's a UK wildlife mod, so rather than having like a deer or something, you get like bears get turned into deer. And I don't know what the bird is, but definitely a bird gets changed as well. Yeah, lots of work needs to be done here, smoothing and everything else. But you know what? Guess what? Look at that. There is passengers. A passenger? A passenger. So 43, and it would change to 44? Anybody get off? Nope. But that's it. That's the maiden voyage of the Lowlands Express. I'm going to give it a name. The Lowlands. Oh, there's the buses over there too. I can see being busy. But we'll definitely call that the end of the episode. Don't forget to subscribe to see more Great Western Railway action. Lots more track laying in our future. And also there's going to have to be some episodes about detailing some of these bigger dioramas, particularly like that trestle, and get some water into it and stuff like that. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time in Transport Fever 2. See everybody.